Welcome to Marketplace by Wisco Weekly. Marketplace is where we highlight some new car lease deals and give you an expectation of what a new car lease would be. And also we look at some used car gems. If you're looking to sell your car private party and it is a used car gem, then be sure you look to contact us as well. Send us an email, marketplace@wiscoweeklypod.com, marketplace@wiscoweeklypod.com. Don't forget, you can also check out the podcast where we feature a lot of private sector and public sector individuals involved in the automotive and mobility space. You can search Wisco Weekly on any popular podcast app. Now, let's take a look at today's vehicle, the 2020 Kia Telluride. All right, here we have the Kia website, the Kia USA website. And again, I am based in Southern California, Orange County. And so a lot of the deals that we're looking at will be primarily based upon numbers in Southern California. As a quick FYI, these numbers that I'm providing to you or sharing with you, giving estimates on, these are only meant to serve as an estimate. Of course, there are things that are that vary a lot of times. What I don't include in the numbers that I present to you are additional money you may qualify for, loyalty money, conquest money. So just know that I'm looking at the ads of these vehicles on the manufacturer website, and then we'll compare that with local deals as we look at local dealership websites. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the Kia Telluride. So set my location. Let's see. By the way, the Kia Telluride is one of the hottest SUVs. At least it was last year, and I recall that there were quite a few dealers that, upon the initial launch of this car, that there were some markups, no more than $5,000 put on top of the MSRP, but there were certainly markups on this car. All right, so we have a lot of good deals going on here, a lot of good leases here. First thing that I'm noticing is they are offering a front-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive Kia Telluride. And it looks like they've also separated from 36 months and 24 months. Now, what's kind of interesting in this is that you don't normally see the same vehicle, and presuming everything else is the same, the MSRP, you wouldn't see the same base payment. There's probably some other things going on in here, maybe that which I'm not privy to, but we're going to look specifically at the 36-month lease. Why do you do 36 over 24, especially if all the numbers are the same? You know, quite honestly, just personal preference. Certainly, if you do want to change in and out of cars sooner than later, then opt for the 24 months. And these do have the same exact numbers with the exception of the residual value. And that's why it's a little bit difficult for me to understand what is the true difference on how you can have the same term, same MSRP, same cash down, and yet you can still have the same base payment. They may be including an additional money factor or a lower money factor on the 24 months, which is allowing you to keep the same payment at 36 months. Anyhow, so $309 without tax per month is this advertised special, 36 months, and $3,500 due at signing. Okay. And again, we want to take a look at what is the MSRP of this particular car that this ad is based off of. And it's right here, $33,000, which, as usual, this is a base model or a relatively base model Kia Telluride. And this is the LX trim level, which that is the lower level trim model of the Kia Telluride. It does include here, much like we saw with Subaru, that Kia does publicize the residual value. So this is $21,489, which leads me to believe this is about a 65% residual. So we have everything here, actually. Again, $309 per month, not including tax, 36 months. Oh, and this is for 12,000 miles. Okay, 12,000 miles, $3,500 down on a $33,000 Kia Telluride. All right. Now, what we want to do then is, once we understand what the base MSRP is, then we want to take a look at what the highest MSRP is on a Kia Telluride front-wheel drive, and that's what we have here. So with the Kia Telluride front-wheel drive, again, you can there are some pretty big options to add on the car, which at the end of the day takes you to a $42,585 car, and you could take that up a little bit more if you add on some of these additional accessories here, right? But we're going to use $42,585 as the highest MSRP for the front wheel drive. All right. So then if we'll dive into the all-wheel drive in a second, but then I just want to share with you real quick my trusty spreadsheet. So then if we look at the Kia Telluride, and again, we're looking at the front wheel drive, so that the advertised special is based on a Telluride priced at $33,060, 36 months, 12,000 miles per year, gives you a base payment of $309. And again, it had the residual on there of $21,049, $3,500 down. So what I'm figuring a good deal and a fair deal, in which you can expect to get on a deal like this. Now, these numbers might even be a little bit lower, to be honest with you, because especially if dealers are still continuing a markup of $5,000, or even if it's $2,500, I don't see that happening right now due to economic times. So this deal might be doable, but I like to advocate for less money down. Again, you're putting your first month's payment, you're doing your DMV fees, you're doing your acquisition fee, kind of the bare minimum down. I'm figuring $1,800. Because you're putting less down as opposed to the lease special, which is asking for $3,500 down. If you did $1,800 down, figured you could get a $360 payment plus tax. If you're looking at a front-wheel drive Kia Telluride at the highest MSRP, or about $42,585, figuring $560 plus tax is what you would be looking at for a front-wheel drive. Okay. So that is the Kia front-wheel drive. We're going to take a look at the all-wheel drive now. All right, so for the all-wheel drive, that was going at $329 per month for 36 months. The $329 plus tax for 36 months. Same down payment as the front-wheel drive, $3,500 down. You have an MSRP of $35,000, and this is 12,000 miles per year. Okay, so again, we have our basics, or we have the numbers that matter the most. That being, what is the base payment on this particular car? That it is $329 plus tax. It is for 36 months, 12,000 miles per year, $3,500 due at signing. And this is all based off of off a Kia Telluride all-wheel drive that has an MSRP of $35,000. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We want to take a look at what is the highest MSRP of the Kia Telluride all-wheel drive, and that's what we're looking at here. As you get to the highest level SX Kia Telluride, SX is the trim level, then you're going to be right at about $46,885. Again, you can still add on some additional accessories to this, but for the sake of our example here, we're going to use $46,000, $47,000 rounding up as the highest MSRP for the Kia Telluride. And while this base advertisement is off of the LX, as you get to the highest MSRP, it changes trim levels to the SX. Okay. So knowing that, now what we want to do, actually, I kind of got ahead of the game and showed you the spreadsheet, but what we want to do next is we want to take a look at the local dealer sites and to see what they're advertising. Now, this is going to be probably somewhat skewed, or there might not even be enough information on these, or enough updated information on these Kia Tellurides, just given the economic conditions right now. So right now, Kia Cerritos, which is a pretty big dealership, does not have any specials on the Kia Telluride. That's why we continue to look on. Car Pros is still here for you. Our service department remains open. You know, this is kind of another digression, but dealerships at the moment are the dealership operation is classified into two different categories of businesses that are allowed to stay open: essential and non-essential. An essential business would be deemed the service department, so they can stay open if they wanted to. But the sales department is deemed as non-essential, so therefore, under orders of the governor of California, the mayor, you may have dealership sales departments that are closed. Now, I do know some rebels in the game, and they certainly are still looking to sell cars. All right, so let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at, nobody has a Telluride special. Let's check one more. This is Kia of Valencia. I hate these. No. Everything's annoying. Okay. New Kia specials. So this is the one thing, and this is the reason why sales departments are trying to stay open, is that they'll at least deliver the car to you for test drives and for purchasing. Take advantage of that now, because once everything goes back into order, you're not going to find many dealers that are willing to do that anymore. All right, and it doesn't look like there's any specials here for the Telluride. Okay, let's see what this says here. All right, so this is $449 per month, 36 months, 0 down, and this is on an MSRP of $35,320. Now, is this the front-wheel drive or the all-wheel drive? And this is 10,000 miles per month. $827 due at signing. It includes $80 doc fee. Now, you might be saying, well, how come it says 0 down payment, but it says $1,800 due at signing here, which includes a doc fee? Now, this is kind of the annoying, misleading advertising game that's, in this particular case, dealerships and the car business at whole partake in. And unfortunately, I wish they were just a little bit more clear, or I wish that the language was just more basic, but due to particular advertising regulations, they do have to disclose a lot of this information. However, it is misleading to say 0 down payment, but then you have to put $1,800 due at signing. I can go into another episode on why that is, but for the sake of it, do not take 0 down payment to be the expectation. Expect to put something down, and that's going to be this $1,800, right? So there's only one lease special, which is telling me here that the Kia Telluride is still going to be a vehicle then that does not have a whole lot of incentives. There's probably not a whole lot of inventory on this particular car. So then, as we look at deals on this Kia Telluride all-wheel drive, let's go to our trusty spreadsheet here. So again, now we're going to look at the all-wheel drive, which has a base of $35,060, 36 months, 12,000 miles, and that gets you a base payment of $329. Again, that's from the advertised special. It has a residual value of $23,139. So a good deal, a fair deal, an expectation of what a lease payment range is on a Kia Telluride all-wheel drive. If you did 12,000 miles, $1,800 out of pocket total, no more, $1,800. You would literally write a check for $1,800. Okay, that's how I suggest And when I present to you these numbers, I'm saying that this is the total cash out of pocket, nothing more. $380. So remember, if the advertised lease special says that you should give a little bit more money, $3,500 down, but it does get you a lower payment at $329 plus tax. This here, what I'm suggesting, would be 12,000 miles per year, $1,800 out of pocket, and you would get a payment of $380 plus tax. Then if you were to look at a Kia Telluride all-wheel drive with the highest MSRP for $46,000, $47,000, you'd be roughly at a payment of $570 per month. So these are the two numbers that you could take a look at now in terms of what would be a lease payment range on a Kia Telluride front-wheel drive. That would be $360 to $560, or a Kia Telluride all-wheel drive, it would be $380 to $570. Okay, I hope that makes sense there. Now, based on this one particular deal here that we see at Kia of Valencia, all right, so this one, $449 per month for 36 months, and that is for 35, that's for the MSRP of $35,000. I'm going to rate this particular deal as not a good one. I'm led to believe that, again, there's either A, no negotiation, B, there could be an inflated, or there could be a markup on this particular vehicle that is a pretty high payment, given what I know, or forget what I know, relative to the advertised lease special. Okay, so again, because this is $35,000, that is the all-wheel drive, right? Is that the all-wheel drive? Here, let's click on this one. Let's see. Is it the all-wheel drive? Yes, exactly, right here. So it is the all-wheel drive. So yeah, look, there's not a whole lot of these Kia Tellurides around, and Kia Valencia probably knows that, and they're going to advertise a vehicle because they know this is a hot car. I would not give, this is not a stellar deal here, but if you wanted the car, if you wanted this color, then that's the one that you're going to get, and that's still a very good payment. I mean, if you can afford it, then go for it, right? Anyhow, so that is our 2020 Kia Telluride. Now let's take a look at a used car gem, and a used car gem that I'm picking out this week is a used Kia Telluride. Okay, now a used Kia Telluride. Let me share my screen. And don't forget, if you do have a car that you would like to send us for us to take a look at, for us to share, send us an email, marketplace@wiscoweeklypod.com, marketplace@wiscoweeklypod.com. So with the Kia Tellurides that are being offered by dealerships, and why a lot of times I don't often like to feature used cars from dealerships is because the way that this car is listed is very cookie cutter. It's the same on which you would see that is posted on the dealership website. And so there's not a whole lot of nuances that you can infer from the listing. So for instance, when we highlighted the Subaru Impreza WRX from a private party seller, you can tell that based on the listing that was going to be a pretty good buy. It was going to be a car that was well taken care of. It was going to be a car that you knew you could trust a lot of the things that the owner was sharing on the internet. But for cars that are advertised on these third-party sites from dealers, it's really hard to make sense if it is a good buy or not, because the language is cookie cutter. The pictures are pretty standard, and there's not a whole lot of customizations to these. So at the end of the day, my point in showing you used Kia Tellurides is the fact that these cars are holding their value really well. You certainly may be in a position where if you did lease the car, while this doesn't happen often, there are times where when you do lease a car and upon returning the car, provided you are, you're right at the miles or you're under miles and you've kept the car in good condition, there's no accidents, there's not a lot of wear and tear or abnormal wear and tear on the vehicle, the Kia Telluride may be a vehicle that's upon returning that vehicle to a Kia dealership or maybe even another dealership, you might have a little bit of equity in there because, again, as you could see from the used car market prices, the used car market prices are nearly mirroring what a brand new Kia Telluride would be priced at. Thanks for tuning in to Marketplace. Be sure you check out some more of our videos on other cars that we're doing, and more vehicles will be ramped up on YouTube, so patience, my friends. And certainly, if you have a car you want to send to us, if you have a used car gem, send us an email, marketplace@wiscoweeklypod.com. And be sure you check out the podcast. Search Wisco Weekly on any popular podcast app. Thanks.